Guys, welcome back. It's crazy how it's already the holidays and Christmas is pretty much like 5 or 6 days away from this upload, so I wish you guys all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But today we're going to be doing a overview of the update, showing you guys what's new. Although within this update they also added the new projectile system where there's bullet drop and velocity and all that good stuff. So we'll be taking a look at that as well. I'm going to be splitting this video up into 3 different categories. The categories being like the major changes. We have like stuff to do with the new projectile system or the firearms. And we also have changes made to the character or like the player's movement and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll leave timestamps in the description if you guys want to skip to certain parts, starting with some of the major things that's changed. Obviously, we have the holiday update. This ends January 15th, 2023. So we have about 4 weeks to play this update, which is actually a lot of time. Obviously, the map has been changed from the normal grass theme to the new snow theme. Unlike last year, they now have new snow particles that you can find at Santa's Workshop. When you walk on the snow, it sounds completely different from last year. This year, it just sounds a lot more like you're walking on packed snow. Take a listen. There are now 37 holiday cosmetics that you can unlock, including the ones from last year and the snow ghillie suit. Most of these you're going to find at Santa's Workshop, but you can find them around the map in various locations, which I'll also get to later. They've added 4 types of sugar cookies and also eggnog that you can find around the map. When going into various houses, there's a chance that you can find a Christmas tree inside them with presents below it. And the presents themselves, you can actually search them and find some Christmas gear and stuff like that. There's also a chance you can find some of the holiday cosmetics under the tree. From my time playing this update, I found the festive shirt, but I'm pretty sure you can find a lot more under the trees. Just like the heli crashes, they added back the sleigh crashes, and there's also a new one called the Snowman Convoy. Just like the Halloween event, they changed the character creation scene or the menu, and they also changed the music on it too, so take a listen to that. They added 4 new vehicles: the combat utility vehicle, the sport utility vehicle, which is the SUV, a police CUV, and an army pickup truck. I've only found 2 of them out of the 4, but this is what some of them look like. And it looks like they really upped their game on the models compared to some of like the more flatter, minimalistic designs. The army pickup especially looks really good. But that's pretty much all the major changes and things added. Obviously, we'll go over Santa's Workshop in a bit, but moving on to some of the things that they changed with the character and movement. If you're starving to death or dehydrated, it will only lower your health all the way to 5. It won't actually kill you like it has before. So it'll stay at a static 5 now instead of actually killing you. There is now a reduced cooldown between like jumps, although every time you jump, it now removes 1 point from your hydration and energy stats. I don't know how I feel about that. There's probably a reason behind why they changed it. When you reload any type of gun, it reduces our movement speed now by 10% while the animation is playing. This also applies to medkits. It will reduce the speed by 10 to 20%. And it's safe to assume that the military medkit will probably be better with movement speed at the 10% range because it's obviously a better medkit, while the small one is probably going to be down by the 20%. So unlike before, we can now shoot guns in the air while we jump. So like if I jump off a building here, you can see that I'm able to actually shoot my gun now. But this only lasts for a little bit of time. You can't do it like infinitely. But you can also see after I took that jump, I didn't get stunned. So this is now changed as well. For that animation to play out, it actually depends on how high you actually fall from. Okay, so moving on to the new Santa's Workshop or reworked workshop. So when you come up to Volcano, you'll get this little toll booth area / tunnel thing that goes across, or beam, whatever you want to call it. And as soon as you get in, you can already see some of the new zombies that they added. The newest one being the Snowman. They didn't have this last year. These things are very strong and they will kill you very fast. So unless you have a decent melee weapon, I'd recommend shooting the Snowman zombies because they actually will kill you pretty quickly. As soon as you look down from the cliff, you can see there's actually now multiple facilities compared to the just one that we had last year. This is what it looked like last year. It just had the one warehouse with the crane on the side. That is it, and it was just a big open area besides that. This year, we actually have multiple warehouses, multiple buildings, a whole new facility. We got some amazing new trees. I'm not sure if these are models made by them or reused from somewhere else, from like an asset store or something, because you can get free models from asset stores or whatever online. With Citadel, we actually had the Abomination Heart that increased your health to 200 instead of 100. For the holiday event, we actually have a new gun called the Santa's Pig. This thing can hold 700 bullets total in a mag, but the model is just a reworked M60 model with Christmas lights on it, although the Christmas lights do light up at night, so it does look pretty cool. And it uses this special ammo, these like plastic balls that you can find, and it sounds really weird when you shoot it too. So if you have this gun, I'd probably use it sparingly, although the loot at the actual Santa's Workshop respawns quite quickly, and there's a lot of it too, so I accidentally found it by killing someone who was AFK. At Santa's Workshop, you're going to be able to find 2 new boss infected. One of them is called the Elite Snowman, and the other is called the Elf Enforcer. So going into this, one of the new buildings here, I'm just going to call it the Snowman Building. It's pretty much just a giant laboratory that went wrong. Medical equipment all over the place, dead snowmen all over the place, loot all over the place. And there's actually multiple floors in here, with the bottom floor being this giant like cell unit slash testing area, which actually reminds me of The Forest. If you ever played it, at the end game when you go into the bunker, there's this laboratory where they have the test subjects that gone wrong. I don't know if they got some inspiration from that, but it definitely gives me that vibe. I'll put a picture up on screen. This is what I'm talking about if you guys haven't played The Forest, but it's kind of like the same concept here. So that's what that reminds me of. Next to the Snowman Lab, you can find the same building that we had last year back in 2021 of the holiday event. It's the Santa's Workshop itself, I guess. In this building, this is where the majority of the presents are going to be. But there's not really much to... Not really many changes in this building, but next to it, we have 2 warehouse areas slash units, whatever you want to call them. But inside them, it's just a storage unit for like construction gear and stuff. There's a few crates in here, but again, not as much as the other ones. We got this like leaking pipe, nuclear pipe, whatever you want to call this. And in this other one is pretty much nothing. It's just a construction storage area. We also got this new light blue Ural. I thought you can drive this at first, but it is just an asset. You can't drive it or anything, so... But overall, this Santa's Workshop, or at least the new one, is pretty much the same thing as Citadel. It's just going to be a giant hotspot for the next month. They changed how the Snow Ghillie is going to be obtained, as it's going to be this kind of like the same thing as they had with Citadel. This year it's going to be in a gift box, but obviously it's not going to be floating. It's just going to be a little event with a gift box at it. That's how you're going to get your hands on the Snow Ghillie outfit. And they have this to respawn more regularly. I think I actually only have like 2 parts. This year I'll hopefully get the full thing. I want to just add some of my opinions to it. All I can say about it is that it's way better than last year's. Just a lot more detail to it. Yeah, but that's all I gotta say about it. I really have no complaints about this place. So finally, for the new projectile system. So instead of like having the bullets instantly impact the player when you shoot at them, you're now going to have travel time to account for and velocity. So you pretty much now have to aim ahead of any moving target to land your hits. This will depend on how far you are and what gun you have. They said all of the firearms in APOC 2 had numerous stats rebalanced to accommodate for this new projectile system that they added. And here's a clip of me trying to kill someone with it. For the first few shots, I just shot right at him, and obviously none of them were hitting because you have to account for the bullet travel. As soon as you see me start aiming ahead of the player, you can see that I start hitting my shots. And you can see the new damage text has been changed to a lot smaller font to be less obstructive. You can now see that there are new visuals for bullet tracers and impact effects. We got a new muzzle flash when you shoot the gun. You can prevent these muzzle flashes by putting on a suppressor, but instead of a flash effect, you're now going to get this smoke effect on the suppressor. The bullets are now able to ricochet off the surfaces, which I think are really cool. Although it doesn't cause any damage to a player if it hits the person, it's just purely visual. And they said for now, so I'm assuming that they're going to be adding it. When you get shot at by a different player, it's now going to flinch your camera, depending on different factors. And the biggest factor is going to be the caliber of the gun, so if you have a larger caliber gun, it's going to flinch your camera more than some of the smaller ones. I've played with it for 30 minutes, and I don't know, it makes it so much more difficult, again, to even land your shots. You can also see these new visual effects for the bullet tracers and impacts. So for example, if I shoot this shipping container here, you can see this like spark fly off, and it varies depending on what surface you're shooting at. So for example, here's sandbags, here's grass / snow, here's water. But currently there's no sounds for all these different hits, but in the future they're going to be adding different types of impact sounds. To wrap everything up here, that is pretty much everything that is of major change in this update. But I wish all of you guys, again, a Merry Christmas and also a Happy New Year. I will probably see you guys once more in 2022, and otherwise, I will see you guys in 2023. Thank you guys for watching this video, and as always, have an amazing rest of your day.